Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Rush Racing League Div 2 here in Spain as part of the final 3 rounds of the season. We're going to kick things off at one of the most historic circuits on the Formula 1 calendar, the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, a track that is very well known for its tire degradation and the fact that drivers have to really drive on their toes here at this very historic venue. My name is Patrick Coleman, aka Rekis. I'll be your host and commentator today for this Grand Prix. It is going to be short qualifying followed by 33 laps around this very amazing circuit. It's a very well-rounded circuit as well. You have pretty much everything that you'd want in terms of Formula 1 track. You got high speed, low speed, and medium speed corners, and some good straights, which makes it a very popular venue for testing. And without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get ready to jump to track. And here we are. We have a pretty good grid here tonight. And while we go ahead and get things all ready to go for the session, let's go ahead and talk about the standings real quick here, as we are in round 15 out of 18 coming into tonight. Actually, no, I was right the first time. Round 16 out of 18 here tonight. We only have 2 more rounds to go. After this, we have Canada, and then we round out the season in China. We have 16 drivers. On today's grid, Oblivion pretty much already has this championship pretty much wrapped up here. And he actually might already officially be champion at this stage. I mean, he would have to DNF both races, and Dito would have to get maximum points to even have a chance of trying to get this title. So, if it's not officially locked in, then it will be locked in by the end of the day if Oblivion can grab another win. But P2 and P3 are still up for grabs, as Dito and Watanabe are only 7 points apart. P4 and 5 is also up for grabs, with Broadsta and Squash Josh tied on points with 159 points apiece. And then Wicked Moist, Shifty, Burrito Man, and Swith could all change positions here tonight because they are all within 3 points of each other. And then Flubber and Locky could also change positions because they're tied on points as well. So there's a lot of potential point swaps that can happen around here tonight. Then taking a look at the constructors, Ferrari and Williams are the closest as of right now, at least up at the front. Ferrari with 323, followed by Williams with 288 and Alpine 264. Some big battles that could potentially happen. You do have only 3 points between Red Bull and Mercedes, 248 to 245. So that is something that could change hands here tonight as well. And that's going to wrap up just a brief deep dive into our standings here. Once again, only 2 more rounds left to go after this one, as Sebi is currently on a lap. We will watch the Visa Cash Out Racing Bulls driver reserving in tonight. We'll watch and see as he makes his way through for his first lap. And just taking a look at the overalls here, I mean, it's gonna be getting pretty close here towards the end. Aston Martin are looking pretty comfortable at this stage to win the overalls, but it's not over till it's over. There's still quite a lot of racing left. I think there's still a total, right about 18 races left to go in the season. A little less than that. I think it's 15 or 14 now, because we do have Div 1 race last night, and then we still have pretty much every other Div aside from Div 1 racing, and still 3 races to go for each of them, as looks like potentially a bit of pit exit drama. Looks like everything will be okie dokie though, but Aston Martin currently on 1,613 points, followed by McLaren with 1,559 and Ferrari with 1,481. Ferrari and Alpine could potentially switch things up throughout the week, as they are pretty close on points. And remember, just for anyone who is new, first of all, if you are new, welcome aboard. Hopefully, if it is your first time, don't make it your last. Go and drop a follow so you'll stay up to date with all the amazing racing that happens here at Rush Racing League. So, the overalls takes accounts for the 6 main. Oh, and that's a spin there from Broadstone, getting a bit of a spin there through, I believe that's turn 8. Yeah, I think that's turn 8, right before it just turns 9 and 10. So he's definitely got damage already. Bit of a rough start here for Broadstone, the Alpine driver. But back to what I was saying, the overalls takes account for all the 6 OCE divisions, so it doesn't take into account F2, NA, or the reserves. So Div 1 through 6 does decide our overalls. So, I mean, all these points can really change at the drop of a hat. So Haas will be a team looking to get into the 1000s. They're the only team still at less than 1,000 points. And unfortunately, they don't have any drivers in tonight's running. It's a smaller grid by Rush standards. So it is short quali. Pretty much one qualifying session to rule them all. You get pole here, you get pole the entire time. I mean, otherwise, you'd really lose one driver in Q1, and then it would just... I mean, Q1 would borderline just be unnecessary, so... Lockie currently right now making a Williams 1-2 at the moment as we watch the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls driver of Plugger make his way through the circuit. I feel like next week we're going to see a good amount of the pink V-carb livery, the Miami Special. So while these guys are getting in some early banker laps here, as Plugger has a time just about 7.5 tenths behind, I do want to ask you guys a very interesting question concerning F125. It was recently announced that we will not be getting a F126, and that the 2026 season will be a DLC, similar to how the 2024 season for EAWRC was a paid expansion pack. How are you guys feeling about that news? I could go either way with it. I was honestly hoping for a new game, but I think that the changes that they are making might be for the better long term. So we'll just have to see. I do know that it'll be a lot of fun watching these drivers get used to the new 2026 regulation car. So I am looking forward to it. Just mostly curious to see how it goes. Right now we have championship leader Oblivion, who could officially wrap up this championship here tonight. So he could pretty much have this one in the bag. He would just need to win it here, and then he is pretty much smooth sailing from here on out. So Oblivion's had a really good season there in Div 2. And he's looking to go and start strong with a time of a 1:11.8 or .898, 83 hundredths ahead of Lockie. So the Ferrari driver doing some good work here in the opening stages of qualifying. We did get Avon, so we did get the second Aston Martin driver. He will be jumping in and getting situated. Now 3 drivers have yet to set a lap. Squash Josh Broadstone, who had that moment early on in his previous outlap. And then Avon, who should be joining us here momentarily. So we will have 17 drivers on the grid. And we will just kind of have to see how the rest of the session goes. We know Broadstone has been very quick in recent times. I mean, him and Oblivion have been having some really strong battles here. I mean, I'm always going to remember their battle in Coda a few weeks ago. That was absolutely cinematic, watching those guys just absolutely duke it out here. But we've got less than 10 minutes left to go in qualifying. Once again, just to remind everybody, it is a singular quali session. And at this stage, there's pretty much, I mean, there's still quite a few things left to do, but one important thing that I like to do is, how are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing in this morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time zone you may be in? It is good to be back here in Div 2 for pretty much what could be a championship deciding round. Really looking forward to it. And yeah, it is unfortunate there, Symphonic, that we do not have a Haas driver. It is, some say it is almost bedtime, and it is about 4 a.m. here in the United States, coming from the Sunshine State. But for these drivers, it is, we did get a bit of a late start due to, we needed just some back end stuff. Got a little bit of a late start for the lobby, so some of you guys might need some Red Bull or Monster or Celsius or insert favorite energy drink brand here. But we'll just have to see. I do have a Red Bull next to me from the Las Vegas Grand Prix earlier today, so. But I do wish everybody all the best, regardless of what energy drink brand sponsors their team. So, I mean, it could be really fun here. It could be interesting. Bronson coming across the line now, taking a provisional pole by just shy of 2/10. Just shy of 2/10 away from Oblivion, so Bronster could make things interesting. Once again, Ferrari and Alpine are really close to each other in the overall, so. And this is the thing I love about Rush Racing League, is that there's so much at stake, even just outside of this division in every single race. You always got to think about the potential for the overalls as well, and that's something that a lot of drivers will think about. And oh, what happened here? Plugger's around, and I think that's Lockie? Was Lockie the other car involved in that, or is that Dito? Lockie, Dito, must have been Lockie. Yeah, I'm unsure about what happened there between the V-Carb and the Williams there. Doesn't look like there's any damage. But we move on anyway. Dito is also pretty much right there too, just a little under half a tenth away from Broadster right there. And I mean, Dito and Oblivion, I mean, Dito needs a really good result to kind of even stay remotely in the championship hunt, but I think it's pretty much championship wrapped up if Dito doesn't win and Oblivion finishes the race or scores at any point, because I think if he scores, then I think it's just about wrapped up here for Oblivion. So Dito will give it his all, but I think he's also really just going to try to fight to keep P2 in the Drivers' Championship, because that's really close as well for P2. P1's a bit of a stretch, and P1 is all but certain here, as we do have, once again, taking a look at the standings, Watson AB is going to be his primary rival here tonight. We're going to jump on board now with Aben, who is going to go ahead and get ready to finish his first lap. He joined in quali, did some time trial stuff a bit earlier on to get ready. So here we go. He's going to come across the line, and he is 1.5 seconds off the time. Jumping down to position to Squash Josh, a driver who could very well be securing a P4 in the Drivers' Championship. He just needs to outperform Broadstep by any measure, and he will jump into P4. The two are tied on points as it sits right now. So, I mean, P2 through P5 is actually a pretty interesting place to watch. I mean, there's good battles happening up and down the field. Squash Josh about a second off the pace. So, I mean, there's still about 5 minutes left to go in this singular qualifying session, and then we got 33 laps of racing here at a track that has been known for a lot of things. It used to have a really bad chicane right out of turn 14, which is, funny enough, still used in some sim racing services. I know Gran Turismo has an option where you can run the chicane layout, which actually, apparently, it's a pretty popular one for preseason. Assetto Corsa, I also think, has that option for either one. Although I think, funny enough, Assetto Corsa actually considers this layout the MotoGP layout, which makes things pretty interesting. I mean, this track It's used for so many things. It's used for Formula 1. It's used for, I believe Formula 2 still races here as well. It's used for the ELMS or European Le Mans Series. The GT World Challenge Europe also still races here. And I'm sure there's other racing series. I think, I want to say MotoGP still uses, I think MotoGP still also uses Barcelona, unless they switch tracks. I'd have to double check that one. But regardless, it's a track that has seen a lot of different racing machines, a lot of different races in a lot of different categories. And it is a popular track, and I understand why. It's a fun track. It's difficult to get overtakes on, with the exception of that start-finish straight and coming out of turn 9. You can see some pretty crazy moves around this track. Track limit violations probably are going to be specifically through turns 1 through 3. Are probably going to be the big ones, and specifically the transition between turn 1 and 2 is probably going to be your biggest issue when it comes to track limit violations. Also similar to Austria turns 9 and 10, the last 2 corners on this track also could be a bit tricky. Because it is a similar style, you pretty much go flat out right into these corners. You can carry a bit too much momentum and go over the rumble strips. And Connor right here show you how to exactly take these corners to non-validates. He improved by just over a 1/10 of a second, as the 2 McLarens are now currently on outlaps. So this will be a very interesting one to say the least. And I mean, we also always have to remember, qualifying is just 1/2 of the battle. We're going to actually go ahead and do a onboard lap with, let's go on board with Camilo. And we'll do an onboard lap with him once he goes ahead and gets going. As we now see an absolute flurry of drivers getting ready to get started on their laps for what will probably be their final laps of the session. Alright, so here we go. We're about to see Camilo here getting ready to go on what is likely going to be his final lap. We're going to ride on board with the McLaren driver as you can see, everybody else is on an out lap, so it's a full swarm here. Wig also does have a pretty good slipstream just behind, as Camilo is going to go ahead and make his way into turn number 1 and go through turn number 2. I mean, it's a very, very tricky set of entry corners here. Now, this is the corner that is known for absolutely shredding that front left. The front left tire takes a lot of abuse around this track, so you drivers are going to have to really manage that tire throughout tonight. As Camilo is going to go ahead and continue making his way through Sector 1, and now he's well into Sector number 2. This corner is pretty tricky as well. It can really throw you off if you're not too careful. As Camilo is going to go ahead and utilize DRS, making his way into Sector 3. Now, if you're not careful, you can get too wide through that corner right there and invalidate your lap. Once again, just putting a good amount of stress onto that front left. And now he's making his way through turn 13 and then turn number 14. The final corner is on the racing circuit. And now he's going to go ahead and burn all the battery that he has left. And it'll be a time good enough for P9 at the moment. As Wigan will also come across the line. He'll be in P3 as qualifying is coming to an end here. We'll jump on board with championship. Oh, the championship leader drama. Drama for the championship leader. He is missing that front wing on his Ferrari. Dito will qualify ahead of him. Oblivion will not set an improved lap. He's going to go ahead and go through the gravel a bit. As Broadstuff finishes, Broadstuff might be on pole here. Wigan won't be able to set a time. Dito's in the pits. Lockie maybe. We'll see about Lockie. He does have some traffic up the road ahead, and that's a Red Bull off. That's a Red Bull off. I think that's Squash Josh, who is off. It was Squash Josh that was off. Lockie's going to come across the line. He will improve. Or sorry, Aben will improve. Lockie, I don't think it made an improvement, so there's a few other drivers still going for improvements here, but it's just now the two McLarens on track. And this is drama here. Drama here in the closing stages of qualifying. And that is intense. And it's very close here. Like it was mentioned in chat, yeah, it's very close here. The top, pretty much the top 10 separated by less than half a second. And the top 4 separated by less than 0.2 of a second. Crazy stuff here at the end of qualifying. It is interesting times here in Div 2. And I know we had a fun time with Div 4 earlier on tonight. So, the beauty of Sundays, we get double the action here at Rush Racing League. So, we'll just have to see. Because, I mean, remember, qualifying is one thing, but the race itself is another ball game entirely. So, we will just have to wait and see how everything does unfold. Brodster getting a pole position for Alpine, and we'll see if he can convert it here. As we take a look through our qualifying standings, Brodster ahead of Dino, Wigged, Oblivion, Ricciardo, Lockie, Swift, Camilo, Rift, Ozzy Manero, OC, Sebi, Sprite Naples, and then we have Plugger, Aben, Vettel, and Squash Josh rounding out our field here tonight. So that is the entirety of our qualifying field. It is a short quality, so one session to rule them all, and then we're going to go ahead and get ready for 33 laps here. It is expected to probably be a one-stop is still optimal or ideal, but I think it's probably going to be a two-stop. Probably 2 mediums and a set of hard tires is likely going to be the order of things if it does go to a two-stop, just because tire degradation around this track is a brutal one. Probably the heaviest tire degradation track on the remaining calendar, except for maybe China. China might be the only track that will give Barcelona a run for its money here. But we will just have to see. Because honestly, we're right here at the end of the season 9, which is already crazy enough. It feels like just yesterday we started the season here at Rush Racing League. It feels like just yesterday we got stuff started here. And we were doing the evals here. We were watching a lot of the new talents go ahead and get ready to jump in. But now it's already right at the tail end of the season. So, Season 10 details will be announced in due time. And I mean, the tracks have already been decided for the next season, but here we go. With 3 races to go in this current season, the lights go on, and it is lights out, and away we go here in Barcelona. And this is going to be a fun one here to watch as these guys go in and try to jockey for position. And it looks like Oblivion going to try to make some moves here, try to get one onto Wigged, and he does. And I think I saw an end play flying out. So somebody might have lost an end plate. I think it was a V-car potentially losing out on an end plate. There's a caution in Sector 1. We will see as we do have Oblivion and Wigged doing battle here. Coming through turn 5 and 6. And there's, I think, another end plate just flew off there off of somebody's car. And Oblivion now getting taken down by both McLarens now. He is back down into P5. So a bit of a rough go of things at the launch here for our current championship leader. Camilo going on the defensive, trying to break the slipstream. as Brodster still holds on to the lead here nearing the end of lap 1, but DRS will be enabled next time around. And we'll go ahead and just bring out the tires here. So majority of the field is running that medium compound tire. Squash Josh running on the hards and Camilo running on the softs. So a little bit of variety in the strategy here today. So we begin the lap number 2. As it is currently Brodster in P1, Dito in P2. And we're seeing some pretty close racing just throughout the field as Dito is going to try to close in the gap and maybe try to get a move done here on the Brodster. But once again, still early times here. He doesn't want to burn up those tires too quickly as the combination of Barcelona's sweeping corners and the dirty air coming off of the back of the Alpine. It could be drama. Speaking of drama, and Aston Martin's off. I think that was Aben. I think Aben has fallen back through the order just a bit. As we do have some cars going side by side. Contact here between Vettel and Plugger as these guys have some contact here. And it looks like we're going to see even more battles. Here we go. The Sauber is fighting with the Mercedes. Connor and Rift doing some battle here. As these guys are absolutely trying to trade blows here. And honestly, I mean, it's just a snippet of what's to come. Now DRS here, it can give you about a good 3 or 4 tenths of a second here, so Dito is going to be able to really close in the gap to the back of the Alpine. And Plugger and Spry are into the pits. Spry Napples now, I think it was part of that drama from earlier on, so new front wing for the Ferrari, new front wing for the V-Carb. As the models have a really funny visual bug there. So I think that was part of the cars that have been kind of in a bit of a pickle. And speaking of being in a pickle, Camilo now has been disconnected. We'll wait it out because we do have a battle actively ongoing. We will try to get them back in as soon as possible. But we're going to go ahead and spectate this battle here really quickly between Dito and Brodster, as there could be a potential change for lead here as his teammate, Camilo's teammate of Wigan, does have a pretty good shot here. He's got a really clear view. So Wigan might actually be able to earn himself a pass here. It's going to be tricky though because Dito will also have DRS range here. So he's going to go in and fire his way down this main straight. And they're going to hold off for now. We're going to go ahead and take a quick minor intermission and try to see if we can get Camilo in. Normally we wouldn't do this, but I am the lone comm on duty, so just try to run through real quick so we don't miss anything. I don't think he actually added me back. I don't believe so. Camilo will have to add me on EA. It is just a Reckless GG for that. So, but we're going to continue on watching this battle as these guys are going to go ahead and continue to provide some really good action here in the top 3. I mean, Dito's in a pretty interesting position. So, Dito is going to try to close in the gap to Brodster, but right behind him he's got a McLaren who's going to be equally as hungry for position. And, oh, so Camilo actually had a Wi-Fi outage. That is a rough one. I mean, we can even see just how many positions he has already dropped here. I mean, he was in P4 and then he dropped down to P13. So, very rough one there. Rough one there for the McLaren. It's good for Williams, though. As Williams trying to get more points on the board. Then we'll promote Oblivion and Lockie. As these guys are going to also do some battle here. Here pretty soon. Lockie would have tried to keep Oblivion back for his personal race and also to try to keep Dito within the realm of possibility for the Drivers' Championship here in Div 2. And it's kind of like, I mean, it's a bit of a long shot, but I mean, it's kind of like Max Verstappen in this current F1 championship. I mean, it's still possible. It's still mathematically possible, but it is a bit of a stretch. But, I mean, hey, anything's possible in racing. So, it's not over until the checkered flag falls in China. And then things will be pretty much done and dusted, as Oblivion does set the fastest lap of the race in his Ferrari, as Dino and Brodsta continue to go ahead and give chase, continuing to do battle here, fighting the battle at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. Fun fact, I know I was giving some fun facts about this track earlier on. They used to do rallycross at this track. There's a rallycross specific layout that they would run here at Barcelona. I think it ran until about 2022 or 2023, I think, roughly. Trying to remember what parts of the track were actually used on it, but we can come back to that a bit later, as we do have some really good racing here. And once again, it's still a three-way fight for the lead, and actually about to be a four-way fight for the lead, as Oblivion pretty much now catches right up to the back of Wiggett here in the Ferrari. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to do what he can here, as we will try to get Camilo in. Once we get past the straight, we'll try to get Camilo in once again, see if he appears. And Oblivion opting to not use the slipstream, just trying to get as much clear air as he can to the front of the Ferrari. And he will close in to the back. And we will try to go ahead and get Camilo in real quick. Hopefully we don't miss any action. Camilo would have needed to add me, I think. I don't know if he added me or not. We will go ahead and try to run through here. We'll try to do this as quick as possible, because I know there's a really strong... Oh, wait, I think I just saw it. Really strong battling here happening in... And oh, Oblivion's trying to shake for a move here. Trying to shake for a move around the outside. Trying to get one onto Wiggett, and they're gonna try to go inside the outside, switching back constantly. They're trading these angles like they're trading Pokemon cards, as these guys are absolutely giving it their all here. Oh, Dino had a bit of a lag spike there, I think, and it did cause Wiggett Moist to have to do a bit of a checkup. Dino will still have DRS, but it's gonna be tricky. Oh, this could be spicy coming into turn number 2. Oh, and look at this! Oblivion have to take to the runoff there. I mean, this is just drama unfolding. Drama just absolutely unfolding here. Locky did get back past, and this is just cinematic racing. Oblivion now pretty much right on the back of Locky, trying to get a dive up the inside, and he'll get that move to stick, as Locky's going to try to go for the switchback. It's gonna be so tight here. Now Swith is also pretty much right in this battle, so I mean, this scrap for the lead has really just brought things really close. So here comes another DRS zone, and no positions change. We'll do one last check to try to invite Camilo, and there he is. Invite has been sent. So here we go. We got some more battling happening here, and I mean, honestly, this has been a really, I mean, we're only at lap 8, and this has been really exciting here so far. And all these guys are all in that medium tire compound, so I mean, Camilo was actually doing pretty good on the softs, but then he got DC'd. So he is back in, and we'll see if he can try to make a bit of a recovery drive in his McLaren. Ozzy Manero and Connor swapping positions here, as Ozzy Manero has been he's a newer talent here in Rush Racing League, but he's actually been doing really good since his debut, and I believe in Austin. I think he made his debut in Texas at the Circuit of the Americas. Oblivion and Wiggett trying to trade places here for podium positions, trying to sort something out here. I mean, these guys they're not gonna give an inch, because especially at this track, if you give an inch, the other person might just take several miles. And he's going to try to get up the inside. Wigan giving him the space. And Oblivion's going to go in and try to get it. These guys are absolutely trying to fight it out. Trading positions. They're trading blows here like two primetime boxers. Oblivion's now going to have DRS. And he's going to try to burn a little bit of battery. Is he going to try and make a send? No, he tucks right on in. And he's going to wait to give it another go here. Lockie is right there too, so I mean, if Oblivion and Wigan Moist come to blows, then Lockie is going to be a direct beneficiary of that. So he's got a really good opportunity to really benefit here from some kind of drama just up the road ahead. So now here's something we haven't talked about yet. Squash Josh getting the 3-second time penalty. I got a feeling that there's going to be a very dramatic 3-second penalty that will be dished out at some point in the race. I do just have that kind of feeling. Look at that. Oblivion trying to get a move done on to Wigan Moyes. They're trying to fight it out, trying to sort things through. And it's going to be a tough one for these guys. Because you got to think, this track is extremely aggressive on the tires. I mean, the front left is really always going to take a massive hammering around this track. So, I mean, the more that you're in the dirty air with the car up ahead, the more wear that you're putting onto these Pirelli tires. Which could honestly really kind of hurt your race prospects here. So, we are pretty much right at the 1/3 stage of the race, so we're almost a third of the way through this very, very entertaining Spanish Grand Prix here. Dino still trying to chase down Brodsta, still trying to make moves happen, still trying to pretty much keep himself within this title fight. He wants to primarily outperform Watson Abbey, but actually Watson Abbey's not in tonight, so that's going to take a little bit of a weight off of Dito's shoulders, but you know that until it is mathematically impossible, Dito is going to try to push for that P1 in the championship, but once again, he would need Oblivion to really have a stinker of a race, which right now doesn't seem to be the case. He's still P4. I think he still could potentially win the championship right now. I don't think it's officially confirmed yet. I would have to look at some scoring here and see, but Oblivion in a pretty decent spot here. Dito trying to make his spot even better than it already is. He's trying to close in the gap to Brodsta as Camilo did make a pit stop for the hard tire. Going on an alternative strategy here. Probably soft, hard. Because I don't think the hards could get to the end here from here. Maybe they can. They'd be begging for the sweet release of a pit stop, but it is very much possible. Take a look through the midfield here as Ricciardo is going to go ahead and try to close in the gap to Rift here. These guys are going to go ahead and continue. And speaking of Rift, he does get a 3-second time penalty for track limit violations. Saw that one live from the POV of Ricciardo as he's trying to make his way closer to the back and now tuning back into the front of the field here. So Dito and Brodstad pulled away from Wigan and Oblivion. So we got two separate battles here for separate positions. And I think now, I mean, drivers are pretty much just trying to make the most out of their stints. They're probably not going to try to force anything. So we'll have to keep an eye on these battles because there's good battles happening all across the field. As Rift will come into the pits. The kick sour making his way through the pit stop now. Switching on to a set of hard tires, so some drivers might try to opt in for that mixed strategy. I think somebody started on a hard tire. I want to say it might have been Squash Josh, I think, started on hard, but I think he got involved in some early accidents, I think. I know somebody. There's one driver started on a hard, and another started on a soft, and then everybody else ran mediums. So, alright, so here's what we're going to do, guys. Although, granted, with my luck, these guys are going to jump straight into the pits, but alright, so we're going to do a quick hydration lap here. So, this is your Ruckus hydration reminder. Get hydrated, everyone, and enjoy the onboard lap with Broadsta. And we'll be, with Dito as he chases down Broadsta. And we'll be right back. Alright, everybody, hopefully you guys did get some water. I know energy drinks taste good. I know Red Bull tastes good, Monster tastes good, Celsius, I question your taste buds. But be sure to get some water in your system at some point. Your body does crave it, as some pit stops are coming in. Some drivers have opted to call it in for the pit stops, so we'll see probably these guys come in pretty soon as well. And actually, this guys actually might make a one-stop workout here. It's gonna be tricky, but I think the one-stop is actually a viable option this time around. As we have one Williams chasing an Alpine, the other one's chasing a Ferrari, as we have some really tightly knit battles throughout the field. Actually, we're gonna jump on board with Rift here as he's trying to chase down Ozzy Minero. So both Alpines under attack now, as we do have some high pressure pit stops coming up with his guys. And oh, you could just see that he locked up those tires trying to get them to stop essentially. So this is Broadsta coming into the pits. The pole sitter and race leader at the time did go ahead and jump into the pits. Here we'll go on to the hard tire, which might be able to carry him to the end here, actually. A Northern? I don't know if they sell that here in the States. I'd be curious to take a look at that at some point. Hey, if it is like specifically a New Zealand slash like Australian drink, then hey, who knows? SJ, if you watch this back, maybe energy drink sponsor is in order. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All jokes aside, we are having some really good battles here. Dito's still trying to close in the gap, and actually, Rift is also. So here's a fun three-way battle that we haven't really seen a lot of tonight. It's gonna be Minero, Rift, and Connor, all battling it out here for P7. So this is a three-way fight for P7 that's happening at the moment on track. Lockie's going to come into the pits, and Oblivion is trying to massively extend his stint on that medium compound. He's the only driver yet to make a pit stop. Lockie is going to make his pit stop now, so that ticker will update. So, I mean, he is the only driver yet to make a pit stop. Taking a look at the positional changes, Aben is going to go ahead and have the most positions gained as of now. Up 5 positions from where he currently was. I know there's still some pit stops that need to, well, that's actually really only one pit stop that needs to come through. So here we go. And look at this. Look how close these guys are. Almost contact between Connor and Rift. These guys are absolutely trying to give it their all here. And look at this. Aben is actually caught up to this pack. These guys are absolutely giving it their all here. A 4-way fight here. We had a 4-way fight for the lead earlier. Now it's a 4-way fight for P7 on track. Beautiful racing here. Ah, I see. So this is absolutely some good racing here as Dito is still trying to close in the gap onto Broadstone, but I mean this is a really fun battle. I'm really curious to see its development as these guys absolutely just try to go ahead and get locked in because they've all done their pit stops, so really it's just a race to the end now for these guys. Dito's going to go ahead and get pretty close to the back of Broadstone. This will be for the unofficial race lead as Oblivion does still need to pit, and he's taking the mediums for a journey. I mean, this man is still, I mean, he's got the fastest lap here, only driving the 114s, which that's crazy. He's got a fastest lap by over a second. That just shows you how quick Oblivion is around here. He's got 17 laps on a set of mediums here. For context, I think that's almost about the... Okay, he's going to come in now at the end of lap 18, but I think that's almost a full 35% race. So, just to put this into more perspective, Oblivion just did a tire stint on a set of mediums around this track that I think is roughly equal or almost equal to a reserve program race around this same track. So I mean, here's the tires again. Everybody is on the hard tire. Oblivion is going to come out just at a locky. But I mean, here's the thing though. His tires are going to be fresh. Some drivers are already on 5-lap old tires, some on 6-lap old tires, 17, 18, or 16, 17. I mean, you got some of these guys that are approaching like almost 20-lap old hard tires behind that are going to really start losing some time. And I mean, for some of these guys up here, well, Rift is on 6 laps. And all the guys ahead of Oblivion are on between the range of 3 and 5 laps old, so soon to be about 6 laps if you're Swift. So we'll just kind of have to keep an eye on how the tires kind of evolve here, because I think this is definitely a one-stop at this stage. Because I don't think, I just don't know. It's gonna be really interesting, honestly, because one of my favorite things about racing is the strategy calls. So, I'm really, like, the one to watch, I think, is definitely going to be Oblivion, because he's going to go ahead and try to fire up those hard tires and try to get the most out of them, because he will have the newest tires in the entire field, at least out of the front runner. So, he's got the most rubber to play with at this stage. I think looking at the comments in chat, I think I've actually had I had a Bundaberg once. I think they sell those in my local shopping or grocery store. So I think I did have one once. It was very strong. Definitely not like the typical root beer that you get that's American made. So it's always really fun. Probably one of my other favorite things about motorsport, aside from the awesome battles and great passes like we're about to see here from around the outside. Swift had nothing really to defend with there. Oblivion got the move done and dusted, and he will take P4 on track as he goes to chase down Oblivion. But just the amount of, hang on. I think Rift has had a bit of a moment there. So Rift getting a bit sideways, I think. Maybe a bit of contact. We kind of missed that. We saw kind of the aftermath of it, but he's not missing an end plate. Is Ricciardo missing an end plate? No. I think his teammate's okay as well. Yeah, okay, so I think Rift might have just spun out on his own there. Speaking of Rift, he has been disconnected. We're going to go try to get him back into the session really quickly. And then here we go. Dito's still trying to close in the gap to Broadsta here, the man who's on pole. He's trying to go ahead and almost, I mean, it would be just shy of a Grand Slam. Because Broadsta has led in every single lap. He has got pole position. If he gets the win here, he would just be missing the fastest lap. And that fastest lap, I believe, still belongs to... Yeah, it still belongs to Oblivion by still about a second. Wow. When we talk about rapid. Talk about rapid. Now that all the pit stops have cycled through. Aben up 6 positions. He'll be our best mover throughout the field as we are right at the second third of the race here at Barcelona. We are seeing, once again, I mean, it's been the day of just close battles, but nobody able to really make a move to stick, really. I mean, been a few exceptions to that rule. Swift has lost a couple of positions from that. But also, Oblivion's also been able to make up some pretty good moves. Aben is going to go and try to close in the gap, as we do here. That Plugger will join the 3-second time pen club. He will add 3 seconds to his race time. Now, unlike the 10-second time pens, you cannot serve those in the pits, although you could appeal it to the stewards, and the stewards might be able to kind of refund you those 3 seconds, but onboard view for 1 lap with Oblivion, and actually, what a perfect time. We'll go ahead and step back and let Oblivion go through the lap as he chases down Wicked. We'll be right back. Some really excellent battling happening here, and Oblivion's just going to go ahead and use that DRS. He made a few attempts in that previous lap, but he sets it up perfectly this time, and he is back up into podium positions. At this stage, I think Oblivion will just about lock out this championship here. And if he finishes ahead of Dito, then I believe this championship is pretty much locked up and in the bag. So this is going to be a tight one here. I mean, Broadsta and Dito have been pretty close to each other through a majority of the races. We have 10 laps to go here on the day. 10 laps to go here in Division 2. And these guys are going to absolutely just give it everything that they got. Because, I mean, it's 10 laps. I don't think anyone's going to make a pit stop unless there's damage on the car. Some people might be on an alternative 2-stop, but I think for the most part it's just going to be everybody just trying to push along and try to get these tires to the end of the race, which would probably be the ideal strategy, I would say, at this point. as the battles rage on up and down the field. Venom getting a 3-second time penalty for his striking violations as he tries to get past Camilo. But we can't really peel our eyes away from this front battle here. Oblivion getting really close to the back of Dito. And he's going to look for it. Those fresher hard tires coming into play here, as his tires are several laps fresher than Dito's. Looking for any kind of gap to try to pass out here, as Oblivion is still trying to close to the back of Dito. And I mean, Oblivion is on a charge right now. He pretty much stayed out till about lap 18 when he finally made his pit stop for a new set of slicks, for a new set of hard tires. But he's made him work, honestly. Now he's trying to close into Dito. Dito going a little bit on the defensive there as Oblivion continues to try to find any morsel of a gap. Trying around the outside, trying to find an inside lane. Trying to get something to stick here as the Ferrari continues on and continues to push with all of its prancing Italian might. Let's see, the Italian stallion can prance up into P2. It is a bit more difficult when you have Dito, who does have DRS2 Broadster. So once again, it's all just so difficult out there at this stage of the race. I mean, you can catch someone here, but trying to get the overtake the stick, and look at this! Trying to get around the outside of Dito, but he goes deep. So Dito just stayed on his line. Oblivion tried an alternate route, tried to get the move done, but no tamale there at the end of that one. I mean, audacious attempt, but just didn't quite pay off. This is absolutely just insane. Here's the tires again. Oblivion is on 3-lap newer tires than Dito and Broadster. These guys are going to absolutely try everything here. I mean, you're running out of laps. Here we go. Now he's going to go to get the move done. Onto Dito, and that's the move he's been wanting to make for some time now. And he will get it. Oblivion now has got to try to go after Broadster, and we have seen these guys do battles before. So I think this one should be a pretty fun watch, honestly. The only regret I have about this is I don't have popcorn with me to enjoy this absolutely cinematic fight for the lead that we're about to have here. Oblivion's got the tire advantage here at this stage, and I mean, we know Oblivion is rapid as well. I mean, he's pretty much in the best spot to, I think he's probably one of the drivers across the entirety of Rush who is in the best position to win this championship early if he hasn't already claimed it. So Oblivion is in a super good spot. If he wins this one, then I think that the championship will be his. I don't think Dito can catch him, which I know Dito also does have Watanabe to worry about, but Watanabe isn't in today's event, so get a little bit of reprieve there. We are coming down to about the final 5 laps of racing here as Lockie gets a move done onto Wigan Moyes, trying to stick it around the outside, and there's contact between the Williams and the McLaren. The McLaren going off, doing some rallying, and contact between Wigan and Lockie. That's going to end up straight into the stewards, I'm sure. So that'll be an interesting one. And yeah, I mean, that sector is always really tricky to try to get a pass in. So we are just about within 5 laps to go of racing action. And I'm going to go with my driver of the day, and I'm kind of torn, honestly, guys. Honestly, right now, I'm thinking it's going to be between, I think So I'll put in about 3 options here. Oh, hang on, we have an onboard request from Two Door Gaming. So we will see who that is. Squash Josh. All right. We will go ahead and jump on board as there's a battle going on here. But yeah, we'll go ahead and run on board with Squash Josh as he's trying to chase down a Plugger. And these guys are going to... I mean, they both got penalties, so, I mean, they're still going to try to fight for everything possible, but they're not too far ahead of the race leaders. So, the race leaders, I mean, slim chance they might catch up to the back of this pack. We'll do another lap because we did catch these guys kind of halfway through this lap, so we'll do lap number 30 with these guys as they make their way on through. As now, he's got the DRS, he's got the speed, he's going to get the move. It's close, bit of wheel-to-wheel contact between the two. And he is going to go ahead and try to get it. Oh, they're fighting through the entirety of the sector. Absolutely. Oh, look at this, they're still side by side. No quarter given. He'll give the position back temporarily before trying to line up a move on the inside of turn 4. And I mean, this is another really good battle. That's just one of the things I do like about this track is that battle's just happening all over the place. And he does try to stick the inside, but these guys are just giving absolutely no room here. As we're going to go to get a driver of the day poll queued up and ready. And these guys are absolutely trying to give it all they got. So, I mean, this is going to be a really fun rest of the race to watch. All right, so he's going to try to close the gap, maybe try to get a move here. Defensive moves from the sister team to the main team. And they're going to go ahead and try to stick it around. Try to get it. And that is going to be a position still defended there from Plugger. So that is just some good battling here in this field. And driver of the day poll is coming up. And let's see. I think we got a pretty good list. We got 3 drivers involved. We'll go ahead and throw this one on for about 2 minutes. And the poll is live. Go ahead and get your votes in. Go ahead and get your opinions in there. And the winner of the poll will be driver of the day. I think my driver today is probably going to go towards Oblivion. Because of just his insane strategy and just the insane tire management he has done here in this race. And it's really paying dividends here. But actually, hang on, I probably should have. Well, actually, it's a pretty overwhelming result anyway, so. I mean, getting about 17 laps on a medium set of tires around this track, which is almost the duration of a reserve program race around this same track, is just, it's crazy to me. So that's my pick. Aben was another honorable mention because he's moved up so many positions in today's race, especially from joining in quali. Connor's another driver who's also moved up quite a few positions, so just kind of my thoughts there for driver of the day. But you guys have the final say, and he's going to go and make his way in, and there's almost contact between the two. Almost contact as we're on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix here in Spain. And these guys are absolutely just going to send it. I mean, it's going to be full push, full risk here. I mean, you might as well just lay it on the line. I mean, if Oblivion wins here, then he's pretty much all but guaranteed to win the title. So, I mean, once again, this is going to be absolutely insane, to say the least. And once again, this is why you guys should follow, so you don't miss action like this. Oblivion trying to stick it. Who is that driving slowly? That is Camilo, I think. pulling off to the side there. So that might have been a definite code brown there for Broadster. Although there wasn't many other places for that McLaren to go. But Oblivion is now back into the lead of the Grand Prix. Or actually, I think this is his first time taking the lead outside of the pit stop. So here we go. A bit of a snap there for Oblivion now. Final lap of the Grand Prix here. And it is all coming to life here. Broadster's got DRS. He's got the pass. But does Dito have a pass as well? He was shaking for a move there, but not quite. Oblivion is going to go to try everything in his power to get a move here. He's going to go ahead and just try to fight it out. Absolutely cinematic here. This is beautiful racing that we're seeing here. This is ridiculously good racing here. I mean, this is what you guys should follow if you guys are not following already. If you're watching this on a YouTube watch back, go ahead and drop a subscription, turn on post notifications, because you're not going to want to miss any of this. This is really good racing. This is a better race than the IRL Spanish Grand Prix. Last chance here for Oblivion. His last real shot here to try to get a pass done as he's trying to chase down Broadster. Broadster is on older tires, but he's holding on very, very nicely here. And it's going to be a drag race down to the line. Who's going to get it? It's going to be a close one. And Broadster wins the Spanish Grand Prix by less than 0.2 of a second. With Dito rounding out the podium. Lockie making it a Williams 3-4. And Smith will round out top 5. Wigan Moist in P6. Connor will come home in P7 ahead of Ozzy Manero. Actually, ahead of Aben than Ozzy Manero. Then Ricciardo will be the next driver to come across the line. Followed by Spry, who's making his way through the last couple of corners now. And that is going to be the end of the Grand Prix. What a close battle between Broadster and Oblivion there right at the end. This was a very, very entertaining race here at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. It's a banger as always, like we've come to expect here. Broadster does get the win, and the podium celebrations will ensue. He's going to hit a celebratory gritty here. Better than the one Oscar Piastri tried in Miami. And he has done it. A very well-driven race. He has led every single lap. Just shy of a Grand Slam. He was just missing that final lap, or fastest lap. So the champagne is going to go ahead and get sprayed around here. And we'll go ahead and take a look at our superlatives here. Oblivion does get the fastest lap of the day. Lockie gets cleanest driver of the day. And also our actual driver of the day as well, due to the Twitch chat, is also one Oblivion. So here we go. We're going to take a look at the final results here. Broadster wins here in Barcelona, followed by Oblivion, Dito, Lockie, Swith, Wigan Moyes, Connor, OCE, Aben, Ozzy Manero, Ricciardo, Spry, Vettel, Sebi, Plugger, Squash Josh, Rift, and Camilo rounding out the field here tonight. So what a Spanish Grand Prix it has been here. I mean, this is one of my favorite tracks for a reason. And yeah, we are going to go to try to get interviews lined up. And oh wow, these guys have made it easy for me. I didn't have to actually even mention any of them. Alright, we're going to go ahead and talk with, let's start with P3 and work our way up. We got Dito. So Dito, you are battling pretty much every single instance of the race with Broadster and then later with Oblivion. So just, how was the race from your perspective?
Yeah, it's good, man. Long one, but yeah, it's 30. Yeah, behind Broadster at the start really hurt, and then I couldn't seem to get past really, so just had to settle for the P3. Those guys are just super quick, man. It's a rapid. I had some serious issues. I don't know what's going on, but I had screen freezes the last few weeks, but tonight was pretty pretty bad. So yeah, I have to try and fix that for next week. But yeah, all in all, happy with P3 and obviously Lockie getting P4 right behind me. It's yeah, a good result for the team.
Indeed, I mean, just the story of Williams just throughout this entire season has just been really inspiring because I know you guys had a really tough time at the get-go of the season in the overalls, and now you guys are in a really good spot. You guys are currently fifth in the overalls, and actually you might overtake Alpine before the week is said and done. So, do you think that P4 is possible here in the overalls by the end of season?
Oh. It's crazy to even think about, man. It was like you said, a pretty average start to the season, and yeah, we were down and out for a fair while. I honestly said for a while that I'd be happy with like P6, P5. I didn't really think P4 would be on the cards. Don't think many people did really, but I'd love to say yes, man. The guys are doing some serious work, training and practicing and all that, and obviously Div 4 was a good race tonight for the team, and then Div 2 as well. So yeah, we just keep making people madder, man, and yeah, that's what fuels the team, really.
Indeed. Two more questions before we go ahead and let you go. The penultimate round of the season is headed to Canada. How confident are you coming to Canada?
Yeah, I like Canada. I hope it rains. Had some fun there in the rain, but yeah, I'm definitely looking more forward to Canada than the track following that. China, that's going to be a terrible round, but Canada's going to be great. We'll see how we go. I need to do some practice there, but get through this week with all the other guys, and yeah, see how we go, man. I've had some good results there in the past. Hopefully, I get this screen fixed first.
Yeah, it did actually rain in the NAEU race, which was a season opener in Canada, so, and that was a pretty chaotic race. So, I mean, if rain comes, then it's going to be a fun one. But last question before we go ahead and let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a special shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, just shout out Williams, shout out Nishka for engineering, and obviously Lockie getting a good result tonight. And yeah, thanks for commentating solo again, mate. Appreciate it.
All good. And once again, congratulations on the P3, and we'll see you in Canada.
Cheers, mate. Well done to Broadstar and Oblivion, of course. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, mate.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump to P2, and the driver who is just about wrapped up this Drivers' Championship of Oblivion. How you doing today, mate?
I'm pretty good after that one. Not too bad at all.
So, the biggest question that I have is, how in the world did you make those mediums go 17 laps before you made your first pit stop?
I just looked after the tyres as best as I could. I knew it was in the position I was. I had to try and overcut. And yeah, I was struggling with engine temps for a while, so I had to back off and find a bit of clean air and looked after the tyres in that span of time and caught back up and just did the best I could really. So that's how I looked after him, and it helped with an offset at the end. So yeah, it was definitely the play to help me get up a little bit further.
Indeed, you guys, well, you in particular, were absolutely rapid there in the final stages of the Grand Prix. You basically, it's all but confirmed that you have this championship pretty much wrapped up. How do you feel about having potentially this championship wrapped up with 2 rounds to spare?
It's only one half of the job. Ferrari want the overall, so I can only help them with that as well.
It's always good to always have your next goal already in mind. Two more questions before we let you go. Canada next week. How confident are you?
I don't like Canada much. Track limits are annoying there, so we'll see. I predict there will be a lot of pens, but also it's very little pens throughout the whole season with a lot of drivers. So it'll be interesting to see what the pace is like and where we'll be at.
All right, last question before I go ahead and let you go. Is there anybody you'd like to give a special thanks or shout out to?
I'll give a shout out to the Ferrari boys, of course, and Campbell for supplying the rig and the setup for tonight.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the P2 and driver of the day, and we will see you in Canada.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
All right. The pole sitter and race winner, the man who was just missing the fastest lap from getting a grand slam, it is Broadster. How you doing tonight?
A bit shaky, but yeah, I'm good.
It was a very hard fought win there, especially right there in the end. But I gotta ask you a similar question to what I was asking Dito earlier. I mean, with Alpine and Williams being so neck and neck when it comes to the overalls, um, do you think that Alpine's got a really good shot at trying to defend P4, or do you think it's gonna be a tough battle to the end?
Hopefully we can. I think everyone in the team needs to put in their best effort, and hopefully it will pay off in the end. So, yeah, we're obviously gonna try our best and see the best result we can get.
Indeed. I'll go ahead and ask you about Canada now. It is the penultimate round of the season. So are you more like Dito in a sense where you do like the track, or are you more on the Oblivion camp where it's not one of your favorites?
50-50. I like the track indeed, but as Oblivion said, the track limits are a pain. So yeah, just gonna have to be careful because when you have no pens, it pays off in the end. So yeah.
Indeed, and I mean Canada's another track where tire wear is going to be not as much of an issue, but it is still going to be something to think about. But also overtaking opportunities are going to be aplenty. So, how are you feeling about China? That's the final round of the season. Do you think you'll have a better shot there than Canada, or you think that it's probably going to be similar?
Um, I'm not sure about China, but I think Canada, I'll get the better result. But yeah, we'll see when we come around to China.
All right, last question before we go ahead and let you go. Is there anyone you'd like to give a special shout out to?
The engineers obviously helped me out with the information from on Oblivion, sorry, and Oblivion as well. I'd like to give a shout out to him for not fighting me as hard as he has previously done. So yeah,
Indeed. Well, once again, congratulations on the win, and we will see you next week in Canada.
cheers.
Alrighty then, everybody, that's going to wrap things up here in Division 2. Hopefully you guys have had a good time watching it, as I've had a good time commentating for this fantastic race. So, with 2 rounds left to go, Oblivion has all but clinched this championship. I think he might have actually already clinched the championship. I think we're just waiting on official confirmation, but he says he's already looking forward to trying to help Ferrari clinch the overall. So we only got 2 rounds left to go here, guys, in this championship. It's crazy that we've already hit this stage of the championship, but I want to go ahead and thank Sim Racing Center, SimLab, Pagni, and Advanced Simulation, and AI369. But most importantly, I want to thank you guys for tuning in every single week to all these fantastic races that we have going on here in Rush Racing League. And tune in next time for when we have more Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya in Div 5. Have a good night.